Hello, I'm John Thorne from Silverton Shooting Centre, and this episode we're talking about prone shooting. Hello, welcome back. Prone shooting, or shooting lying down, prone to give its proper term. It's again reasonably common in mini rifle, and certainly longer distance shooting becomes more common because it really is one of the most stable shooting positions in terms of a longer distance type stuff. And also, if you've got barriers you have to shoot underneath, it may be the only way of doing it. Now we're going to cover how we plan a course of fire later on in the series, but really for prone shooting, because it takes so long to get down and to get up, especially someone old like me, you try and do it at the end of the course of fire, not midway through, because you save the time. So if a course of fire will require some prone shooting and some not, you're best off finishing off with the prone shooting if you can. Secondly, prone shooting also lends itself very well to bipod shooting, which we'll cover in a second. And bipods are both good and bad, but it's something you can use. But the main thing about prone shooting is it's a very good chance of being disqualified because you lack the control over your muzzle. So a couple to consider is, what do you do with the gun? And also when you finish shooting, what do you do afterwards? Okay, so what I'm going to do is a little couple of practice of fire. I'm going to basically go down, I'm going to shoot a normal prone position, and then I'm going to do what's called reverse prone. Now reverse prone, a normal prone shooting is standing lying longitudinally target. So I'm on the floor and I'm shooting at the target in the direction. Reverse prone is when I'm lying sideways and I'm shooting sideways on. Now, the reason why it's quite a useful thing to learn is that in this example I've got two targets right in front of me. Lends itself well to prone shooting because I don't have to manoeuvre the muzzle too far. Reverse prone is useful, and we did it in the competition this year, where I have targets at a 90-degree angle from each other. If you imagine shooting lying down, shuffling around to one and shuffling around to the other is very time consuming. So reverse prone shooting allows me to sweep more in terms of target process when you see it. Very specific need. Okay, I'm going to do loaded start again, and what we're going to do is down the floor, shoot a couple and go from there. Now, I shoot a vector, slightly different. I can rest the gun on the magazine to give me a better stable position, a better more stable shooting position. You cannot do it on an AR platform. Okay, it doesn't matter what make. It could be Lantat, it could be Smith & Wesson, it could be Battle Arms. I guarantee you lean on the magazine, it will force the magazine forward and you'll jam the gun. Vector doesn't have that problem, so it's easier. All right, so we're going to do a couple of normal, then a couple in reverse. All right. Now, most of the time, get the problem of being disqualified is when you finish shooting and the command comes in to unload and show clear. There is nothing wrong, if you're lying on the floor, of putting the gun on safe and then benching the gun, put it on the floor. Then I can stand up and I can then go back to the gun and retrieve it to unload it. The reason why you do that is because sometimes getting out with a gun, muzzles everywhere across the board. As long as the safety goes on, and as long as the gun remains in a metre of you, you can't walk away, you're perfectly entitled to do so. It's a safe way of picking up the gun after a prone course of fire. However, always a good idea to tell the RO you're going to do that. Okay? Let's try again. Other way, of course. Keep the muzzle down range, finger off safe, finger off the trigger. Same thing applies. I can unload it and show clear again. Okay, now we'll do reverse prone. I'm going to do 2 rounds, different directions to show how easier it is. So if I do one as reverse prone, then try and do the same prone, you'll see a difference how fast it can be. So as you can see, with reverse prone, I can swing around the course of fire and I can get nicely on the targets. Now, one thing that's worth considering about reverse prone is where your legs are. Now, normally this is more of an issue with shotgun where there's more recoil. On rifle and mini rifle there's less recoil to consider, but your leg position is still quite useful. A, because it saves that swooping of the feet, but also acts as stabilising for you. So if I go down to reverse prone, what I do with my legs can be anywhere, but in an ideal world, your supporting leg, so in this case my right hand, should go back, and my dominant leg for my hand should go forward. The reason why is that A, I get a very stable shooting position, but also if there is recoil, this leg here is very supportive. If you go the other way, your stance is open, therefore it's your hips that are rotating. With this way, my hips are closed, so it means I'm laying toward the target. I can still sweep back and forth, but it means any recoil back, of which is very little, is controlled. And this way, obviously, I become more of an open-ended type process. So remember, if you're left-handed shooting, your left leg forward. If you're right-handed shooting, right leg forward. Okay? So here you go again. So it works nicely. So again, you may not have a prone or reverse prone course of fire for some time, but it's something you do need to learn. And again, it's kind of hard to practice in a range unless you have an open range as you are here. You should be able to at some ranges. And again, at home with an unloaded gun, you should do the same thing. It's getting used to that sweep, and also getting used to muscle memory to lying on your side, up and on the scope each time. Because everyone's used to doing this, very straightforward. So you're lying down, where's the gun going? Getting used to that process on a muscle memory basis. All right? So that's prone and reverse prone. Hope it's useful. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Cheers.